Okay, I'm filming with the iPad mini, so unfortunately the camera is not nearly as good as the iPhone. So bear with me as I do this. This is going to be a somewhat simple project. I just wanted to show you about recording with the iPhone. So with the iPhone, you need the camera kit. Unfortunately, until Apple decides to at least upgrade to the USB-C, that's kind of where we're at with this Lightning thing. So you have to run a USB out to a regular USB-A to the USB-C. And if you're wondering what USB-A, what I mean by that is the standard USB, okay, that you probably are used to seeing. So that into the iPhone, and then open up Koala. Now I'm gonna show you Koala, but you could use other stuff. You don't have to just use Koala. And I apologize in advance for I can't zoom out on this phone or this. I can zoom in as you see I just did there, but I can't zoom out far enough for you to see the rest of the thing. Doesn't really matter. I just got a simple set of drums there going on. Okay. So you'll see the meter. Hello, hello, hello. So it's not my voice. You can see that the meter's not going up when I'm talking here. When I hit a thing, it goes up. I'm going to have to turn it down just a little bit. So this is really cool because recording to the iPhone, you typically will have your phone with you most of the time. I have headphones. You guys have seen my headphones before. Not a big deal. Plugged in, but I had to plug the speakers in so you could hear it. So that's why I have speakers plugged in up here. But yeah, you can record. So you can record anything and you can play it back too through there without having to use external source. So it does work, but you got to have the camera kit to make it work. And so I wanted to do that. So also, this is the other thing I think I mentioned in the last video too. It doesn't work with the USB-C. So it does work if you go anywhere from the input on the front or the input on the back, it'll work, but not the USB-C. I don't know if that's something down the road they'll fix. It may be something they can't fix. I don't know. I'm not that tech savvy to where I know that. But I recorded in this just to show you. So here's a simple. I'm gonna show you a thing I did with it too in a second here. Okay, so you can see that I have it on loop right now just so you can see. So I did all to do that pretty much simply put. I just did this. Just like I would do if I'm recording it here, play it out and then do the extra kick at the end if you need it. You will need it so you can find the loop point, right? And then just go ahead and normalize. And then that's that last little spot right there, our last kick is the starting point for the loop, right? To go back. So just zoom in, crop it, and now you have a loop. Hit the loop button, hit hold. My drumming was off there, but whatever. All right, so then if you want to know like how many bars is that, then I know it's 2 bars, but if you wonder, you can hit the stretch button and it's 2 bars. See, it'll show you there. So that way you can say, okay, I played 2 bars and I know exactly how to loop it. But let's say you want this to be 4 bars, but you don't want to record it again. Then you just drag it over and drag another one on top, and then it's going to ask you to mix or add to the end. So use the add to the end, and now you have 4 bars, and it'll be perfectly looped if you turn on the loop. As long as you set that first loop right, it should go. Watch. See? Went right back into the second bar. That last little whatever I played there is just off. That's all that is. So that's how you do that. So like I did the same here with the hi-hats. And then it starts over. I did it 2 bars and then it starts over. So if you made a track in here or you want to record your track out and you don't want to use the pattern sequencer in here, you can do this and just record into your phone your patterns. Because maybe to be honest, it might be easier just to sequence in here. I personally think it is. because the pattern sequencer here, it's not that I can't do it. I know how. I just don't enjoy it as much for some reason. But, you know, whatever. So figure out what works for you. Let me get rid of that. Put your patterns together. And now if you wanted to sequence, I know I made 4 bars here. So all I have to do is go here, double up till I get to 4 bars. Click here. That's the first one, right? As long as it's on the money, then do this, extend it out. Sorry, my hand. Put two sections in there for the, and then just drag them all the way out. And now you got, I can only silence so much on the phone. That's the reason why I don't use the phone often to do the actual video portion, is because of that. But anyway, here we go. Let's see, now it won't. I think I hit something by mistake. All right, there we go. So that sounds terrible. So I don't like to leave. So one thing I don't do is, let me go back here. I don't leave the loop on when I'm doing this. Once I put it in here, it's already looped. So it's no purpose. Now, I only did this because sometimes people want to see the separate parts. And that's how sometimes I'll record, like if I'm really trying to make a song. But I will say, oh, let me show you this. This is what I was trying to do. Because in here, I can't take the drums and the kicks separate. I can record them separate. I just can't do it. You can do this a little different if you wanted to. You could just do like 1 bar and then put it in if you want, and then or chop the samples, however you want to do. But here's one method. If you, let's say you have, I'm going to delete all this because I don't really need it. But let's say you have a timing thing that you want to do. You can tap the tempo in here if you wanted to. Let's say you tapped out, I'm just going to pick a number, 85. Okay. And you want to be able to play it in here, but you don't want to use the metronome because you don't want to record the metronome from this into here. So you can use the metronome in Koala. Right? So what you do is you turn it on right there, go back to the sample page that if you're gonna record into here, and then just hit, before you even do that, just go here. It doesn't matter if this says 4 bar, 1 bar, just hit play. Let the metronome ride out. Then you'll know how to play, right? Okay. Sorry, I can't control everything again. So there's my bar there right there. I'm going to go normalize. And I know that last bit right here, this last kick, I'm going to get, that's my next starting kick. So I'm just going to go chop. So now I have a bar of that. Now I'm going to do the snare. Okay, stop that. I'm going to normalize it. Okay, so now I see where the second snare is. So now the first snare, the problem with this is if you don't do a kick on the first part, you won't know where to go, right? You won't know where to end it. So I'm going to show you how to fix that right now. So turn your record on and do a kick first. So a kick in and a kick out, if that makes sense. Now go normalize. Okay. I'm going to crop this first one since it automatically puts it on. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to crop out the back end over here like so. So I'll know that's where the snare ends. And then the problem with the first portion of this is you're going to have to make this really work. You gotta, I think you have to, if I remember, let me just double check this, how I did this the last time. Oh, I'm gonna turn this click off. It's gonna drive me nuts. You have to take, oh yeah, I know what I did. Okay, here we are. So you have to take the snare that's right here, pull it like as if the kick comes in. So you hit, so this snare hits, right? Then it's somewhere after that, it will be a kick, right? So we're going to go there. We're going to go crop. Oops, I messed up. And you can't undo, so I apologize. I'm going to have to redo the kicks and snares there. Let me do that again. Sorry about that. So let's turn our metronome back on for this one. Okay. So that you don't get drove crazy like me with this thing doing this. Normalize. All right, so I did it a little bit longer, which is okay. Actually, it's probably better to do it a little bit longer if you want to do this. That way you don't have to go. You can just cut. You know this is the end, the next starting point. So that's going to be easy to grab. Oops. Mind you, on the iPhone, it is smaller, obviously. So you're going to have to. So go ahead and crop that first. So now you should have your 2 bars or whatever you're going to do for your kicks or snares. So you got options. So I'm going to go here, crop. So now here's your snares. That's how I did it. I'm good. So now you should be able to put these in with this and it should match up. So let's just test it out to make sure that what I'm telling you is legit. So we'll put 2 bars. Okay. Probably easier to start out with just 2 bars. By the way, you can do your kicks and snares together if you want. You don't have to do all this. But if you want them separate, I'm just showing you how I would try to do it. All right, so. Hold on, sorry. So that's off. So see, now the snares are off. So that's the challenge of recording like this, trying to do stuff separate. You might have something that's off. So a workaround if you don't want to record like this, and it's good I messed up so that you can see it kind of, is that you could use the pattern mode on here technically and record the parts off. You could record the kick and the snare together and then just play them separate, or you could even do this. Right? Go into this one, go normalize, there's your snare. Kick's already there, go ahead and hit normalize. And then just sequence it in here if you wanted to. So you know the kick's on there. Right? And then put your sequence in there. Or put the snares in, because you generally know your snares are going to hit here, right? 2 and 4. You could put that in there, use that as a reference, then build the kicks and then throw the kicks in over it. Or you could just literally play it in, right? If you wanted to. Make sure you turn the quantize off. By the way, this should all be one-shotted. Okay, you get it? So I'm just showing you all these different options. Some of this stuff I probably would never do. I would probably just build, if I'm going to do this type of workflow, I probably would just go ahead and build the drums with Koala, or maybe just build the drums in here and then send them to Koala. So for instance, you could go, if you were okay with pattern mode and you felt comfortable with it, you could go here and do a simple pattern, right? Let's say hit record, pick this one. It's gonna, wait, exit out of there. We gotta be in pattern mode. Make sure you're in pattern mode. Okay, we're on this one, this bank. Hit record, press that, and then set it for real time. And then we're gonna pick the tempo, whatever we picked in here, which is 85. Okay, hit record again. It's gonna do a count in. do all your parts in the SP. Okay, simple beat, right? And if you don't do but 2 bars, you're pretty safe. So then how would you make this work if you wanted to separate them out on parts? Well, probably the easiest way to do it is to go and play this pattern and then do some mutes, right? So let's say you got the pattern going and you go out of pattern mode. If you hit shift reverse, you can mute parts. So you can mute those. Okay. Now I'm going to go back in and stop it for a second. So I know that this played. Oh, let me normalize that so you can see it. Okay, so there's that. There's that kick that I was telling you about. Crop there, and then you know this is the first kick. So you just gotta make sure you crop it down in time. Okay, there's your kicks done. Right? Now you go in and you play it back. It's still, go back into here, shift reverse and just put the snares on. And then now you're up against the same thing, right? You're trying to figure out how in the world I'm going to get these snares to be on time, because it's only because you still don't have the kick in there, and that's the downside of this, in my opinion, of this method of working. It can work, but it's not the best. That you're going to have to make a choice here as to what is going to be the best for you personally. What I would do if I was going to do this is I would just take myself. Okay, I would just take myself the 2 kicks. So I played the kicks in. I know the kicks are where they're at. They're on the 1 and 2, right? I go back in here. I want to get this kick, right? And then I would just sequence that part in. So the first part should be I think it's 2 bars. Yeah, 2 bars. And then I would just sequence this part in and just do this. Watch. There. This is so much quicker, right? You played the kicks in sequence. Now, if you did the whole song in the SP and then sent it over here, that would work too. So that's an option. I'm just showing you the way I would personally do it. Now I want to get that hi-hat. The hats are going to be easy. The snares are the hardest part because there's nothing. You got to wait for the kick to hit first. And unfortunately, that's just what it is. All right, so I'll go back into pattern mode. Shift, take that out, bring in that. And go back to sample. Okay, you listen to it to go through the cycle of it, do your normalization. You can kind of see it once you get used to this. So I can see right there, that's the first one. I mean, I guess it's just me. I can listen to it and hear it. It's only 2 bars to listen to. It's not like but you'll have to, train your ear till you get used to that. Then let's see. Does it start on the 1? It should. My hands are so big trying to do this one. It's not so bad when I'm not recording. When you're trying to record this can be challenging. Okay. Crop. Want to test it to see if it loops. Oops, don't do that. Set the loop on, turn a hold. Loops real. All right. So the thing is that you remember, like with that's 2 bars. So same thing there. So now we're going to go in and stop the pattern. And the good thing is that if you wanted to, in theory, also, I keep using the word saying in theory. I don't know why I keep saying that, but whatever. I must like it. You could nudge your snares a little bit, like go in and manually nudge them if you want. I'm gonna let that one be where it was. I set this on free, the snap, so that way I can move them around freely. All right, and then let's check that last one. I don't know where it's sitting. Oh, it's sitting right. You want to snap it to the grid, then turn your grid back on to 16. Snap. That's pretty good right there. I like the way it sounds. You want a little swing, more than what you already played it. You want to turn your sample down a little bit. This one right here. Maybe it's too loud, so turn it down 3 dB, and then, all right, that's pretty good. A little more maybe. I like my hats just to ride really low. Check your snares too. For instance, like this one, I can tell this one's slightly off even more because I didn't tighten it up right there. So I'm gonna tighten up the loop. That's the one thing about not, zooming in right here, being able to see that wasn't tight. So now it should sound a little bit better. Yeah, there you go. Much better. So you might say, well, why can't I just play the samples in here? Why do I even need the SP? And that's a good question. You really don't technically, but sometimes it's fun to step away from this. So you could use a controller if you wanted to and put a controller on, and then just, I think Donner makes one, Starry Pads, it's like right around $100 maybe on Amazon. You can grab that. Lifted Noise did a video, he was using it. If you want that. The SP though gives you an opportunity to create in it outside of using a phone. And then if you want to use this to bring in samples or to do whatever, you got both options there. There's a lot of good in both. And like I said in the last video, I'm not going to talk about it again. So both are worthy of having. But if you can't have one, then just having this one will be just fine. You'll be okay without it. So anyway, all right, that's it for this video. I'm out.